Welcome, everyone, to That Kind of Nerds podcast, a weekly show that tells you what is going on in the nerdy world. I am CJ Millen, joined by Josh Burns.
What up?
There's no Brian Thornton.
It's the holidays, man. He had to go see his family.
Missing half of the Burnstons. Still here. Just telling you what's going on. Aimlessly walking around. I have no idea what's happening in the world of comics. I got nothing. Just not here.
There's not there's Aquaman came out.
Yeah, that was a thing.
There's that.
You saw that, right? You saw Aquaman?
I did, yeah. I did.
Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit.
There you go.
If this is your first time listening to the show, I highly recommend you go to intro.thatkindnerd.com. You actually get to hear the three of us learn a little bit about us, a little bit about the show, and then you can go ahead and dive headfirst into this episode.
And I think you should listen to episode 37.
The Podcast Awakens. Okay, so we talk about The Force Awakens. Well, since it was the holidays, I had time to go around the internet and find the weird, find the obscure, and then I ask for a tech perspective. And I'm just starting off with this story right off the bat because the people I work with are just so happy about this. And I want to hit my head against a wall repeatedly until I see blood. And then I die slowly, knowing that I'll never do this. Snapchat has finally made AR lenses for your dog. Yep.
All right, so like filters for pets?
Filters for your pets. So like it could look like your dog's putting their head through pizza or dreaming about dog treats or wearing glasses.
I got to tell you, man, it seems to me like a solid 35% of the internet is dogs and cats.
Yeah.
So, and people are nuts for their animals, and okay, like I get it. If I had like a really cool cat, I'd probably take pictures.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they specifically made this for dogs. So I think it will work with a cat, but like the filter is all about the dog life, not the cat life.
Well, people like dogs. That's great. I don't dislike dogs. I just can't have one. So, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Look, I mean, how can you fault people for being, dog crazy like they are? People are. They're dog crazy.
You're taking all the fun out of hating this. You're just taking it all out. You're taking away all the fun.
I don't see the point of hating it, right? I mean, people. If I'm reading this right, people enjoy, for some reason, social media. Yes.
Yes.
People enjoy taking pictures of things that they enjoy. Correct.
Yes.
People like posting said pictures, using filters on social media.
Yes, I really don't appreciate you applying logic to this.
Snapchat is one of those social medias that's like an instant gratifications type of thing.
Sure, yeah.
How does this not make perfect sense? I mean, have you been on Reddit recently? Like, it's
true.
Everything is dogs.
There's
cats stopped working. Our pets.
Whole subreddits devoted to animals.
There's a shit ton, man.
I get it. Listen, I just wanted to hate something, and now you're telling me.
But now I can have my dog that stopped working, but also he's wearing funny Poindexter glasses.
Right.
Like, cool.
Hipster dogs. You can have hipster dogs.
Look, I mean, this makes perfect sense. It's not, I don't really apply. I mean, sometimes to the kids, I guess, but not very often.
All right. Well, how about we can hate something? Can we talk about something that we can hate together?
Oh, sure. We're going to hate something together?
Yeah. So this is the headline, and I just want you to know this is not true at all. If you watch movies and TV on your phone, this $30 device will change your life.
Question?
Yes.
Before I read this article, is this $30 device a harmonica stand apparatus that holds the phone up in front of your face?
No, it is not.
Okay, because we talked about that before, and it would need to hold at least like 3 harmonicas.
Yeah, 3 harmonicas worth of phone. Yeah,
right.
We've
discussed this.
Yes, and for those who are new, harmonica is a unit of measure that we have for weight. Right.
For weight. Is that this?
No, this is called the smartphone magnifier. And for $30, it is a wonderfully styled box that looks like a vintage TV. Simply slide in your phone, and it doubles the size of your display instantly.
Huh? What?
Yeah. So, like, it looks like an old TV. It's about the size of what I would assume would be a toaster.
Is it gonna turn my phone into a 4:3 aspect ratio?
Pretty much.
I don't
like it.
Yeah. 2x the size. I've got a 10s Max. What is this? What are we talking about? It doesn't seem to like really tell me anything. These dimensions, 7.5 inches long, 7.7 high, and it's like 4 inches deep. Good. I mean, that's not that. I mean, it's not 2x my phone.
No, I know. Just slip your device into the fully assembled, retro-styled cardboard TV and enjoy your mobile movies double the size of your display. Keep it in your bag, Josh, for impromptu screenings during your next camping trip, sleepover, or long car ride. Designed in London, made in China. Why? No, thank you. No, this is dumb. Also, what do you do about the sound? What do you like? How do you handle that?
It comes out the cardboard speaker in the front there.
But that's no help. That doesn't help anybody at all. That's like putting your like cupping your hand to get the speakers. Sure, it's better than not doing that, but is it any better than just not using this at all?
Your phone gets mounted into a cardboard version of a VHS tape and gets inserted into the back of what appears to be a CRT tube,
right,
with only standard, coaxial and AV inputs, RCA AV.
And to be fair, that's just a sticker of that. That's not actually anything useful.
No, I know. Right, what I'm saying is you would never insert a VHS tape there.
No, you wouldn't.
So why the ruse?
I don't know. To swindle people out of $30, I guess? It's on back order, by the way. It's on back order.
I don't like it.
This is dumb. Why? At least we can hate this together.
Yeah, I agree.
We can look at this and say, oh, I wouldn't waste one harmonica's worth of weight in my bag for this stupid device.
I want to know why it isn't a harmonica holder that puts the phone in front of my face.
We also talked about that pizza thing that holds pizza, and it's just in a triangle shaped wedge of plastic, which is gross also.
Right.
Stop trying. I don't know.
You're just dripping grease down the front of your bodice.
This is
really all that's happening.
This TV thing is so dumb. I'm talking about something that we talked about like probably a year and a half ago. No, thank you. We can all hate on this together. All right, how about talking about something that we may like, though?
Okay.
How about a good palate cleanser if we both agree this will be pretty cool?
And amuse-bouche?
Yes, absolutely. A little amuse-bouche. First, let's get a little sorbet, right? Get that cleaned out, and now we'll have an amuse-bouche of a topic, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know what amuse-bouche is, go to YouTube. Just figure it out. Maybe watch some Top Chef.
I need you to figure it out.
You'll be welcome. Disney has previewed how the new Star Wars Millennium Falcon ride will work and gave a little more behind-the-scenes video for Disneyland's Star Wars Galaxy Edge expansion in 2019. So they released a video kind of talking a little bit about what Star Wars Land will look like. They gave a little glimpse into the ride, and I gotta be honest that we had heard and discussed some rumors not too long ago about people who went to the ride and did like the beta testing for it. And they were like, yeah, it's all right. It looks like they took some feedback because it looks awesome, and I want it now.
Is it a thing where you sit in a room and everything under you moves around?
So it looks like it's
or do they put you on a spaceship and you fly into outer space?
So first off, you go into the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, right? And
let's take this a piece at a time.
Okay.
Let's break it down a piece at a time.
Gotcha.
You go into the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, which means this ride seats 3 people, and the line is 3 years long.
So it's 4 people.
4 people.
4 people. I'm assuming that there are multiple cockpits to the Millennium Falcon. It's like the Simpsons ride, I would guess, at like Universal. Then you sit in the cockpit, but like there's 9 other people in cockpits all around you, but you'll never sit in.
And it just whips you around.
And then it's an inside roller coaster, essentially, the fact that you're just moving up and down, maybe tilting left and right, but
whips you around.
But you're not moving. Yes. And there's a screen in front of you, so it looks like you're flying
craziness
through the space.
whilst being whipped around.
Correct. And then you can either be
hard.
Then either you can be the pilot, or you could be the gunner, or you could be some other role.
Hard pass. I'm getting sick thinking about it. No, it looks like I would not be comfortable at all.
So there's another ride that's also teased in this. If you're in the Millennium Falcon, it's the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. So there's another ride that they previewed called Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, and this reminds me of the Spider-Man ride from Universal Studios, where you sit in like a little car vehicle and then
It whips you around?
No, you're in a track. You're actually moving. There's physical...
Is there a screen in front of you and then that whips you around as well?
Sometimes there's a screen. Sometimes there isn't. Josh.
Hard pass.
No.
Yep.
And then you see the Kylo Ren, and then you're like, oh no, Kylo Ren.
Hard pass.
How are you hard passing on this?
Hard pass.
Who hurt you?
Roller coasters.
Roller coasters hurt you?
No, these indoor thingies. I can't.
Why?
I just hate them so much. I don't mind like open air being whipped around. I don't mind the double shot. I don't care about falling.
Sure.
100 feet, whatever. None of that bothers me.
Okay.
But like you put a giant screen in front of me and then also whip me around. Mm-mm.
Have you always been this way, or are you just getting old now?
No, dude. I mean, I went to Universal when I was 23 and hated it. Like,
wow.
It was the first time that I was on those. I don't know how popular they were. I don't when they started getting popular, but 2003, and like Laura went on one of these rides with me, and we both hated it so much. It's a very uncomfortable feeling.
I'm really sad to hear this. So I'm looking at some details. I'm getting more. So there's going to be 3 roles for the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run ride. You're going to be a pilot, a gunner, or a flight engineer. Which is okay. They say this similar to the Star Tours. The ride itself appears to jostle around while a first-person animated computer journey plays through the cockpit window. But this one, it looks like that it just button mashing doesn't actually help.
So like, wait, I have to. All right, I'm paying all this money to get into Universal.
No, this is Disney.
I'm waiting.
This is Disney.
Disney, great, whatever. I'm paying all this money. I'm waiting in a line, even if I have a fast pass or whatever it's called. I'm waiting in a line.
Sure.
There's 6 people at a time, so I'm presumably riding with people I don't know, and then I actually have to do shit too.
Yeah.
Hard pass.
Wow. It really hurts.
Entertain me. I've paid all this money.
Is one ride where you have to do a little effort. Go on another ride.
That's one too many.
You're not coming with me to Disney World. It's not happening, Josh.
That's for
Cancel the reservations. The Airbnb is gone.
I'm never going to Disney. I'm never taking my kids to Disney.
Oh my gosh.
It's not happening. Not ever. That's what a miserable way to spend a week.
If, however, though, you are interested in this and you can't wait until 2019, you just want a taste of maybe something similar to this, maybe feel like, hey, I want to know what it feels like just a little bit. Apparently, there are 2 iOS games that can kind of give you a little bit of a tease for this. One of them is called Space Team, and the other is Ubisoft Star Trek Bridge Crew. So those are supposed to give you a little bit of a preview of maybe what it could be like to be in the Millennium Falcon or fly around Star Wars. And I understand I say Falcon, you say Falcon, and that's fine, people. We can say this
the way they say it in the movie.
So we can say it either way. It's fine. No need to fight.
Say it the way they say it.
How do they say it?
Falcon.
Do they all say Falcon?
Yes.
I say Falcon because that's the word. Listen, you can't say I'm saying the word wrong, but then never like, oh, I'm not even going to ever go on the ride. Oh, no, that ride's not for me. No.
I can do both of those things.
Well, I don't like it. That's what it comes down to, Josh.
Okay, but
don't apply logic. I just don't like it.
It's not a fine line. It's a pretty big distinction. This is not blurry at all.
I don't like it, okay? Don't feel like you have an authority over me.
Like saying I can't say it versus saying you don't like me saying it.
No.
Right. Fair enough.
And then you don't like it, and it hurts my soul. I can't believe that. I really thought that was a winner. I want to take one moment though for the end text perspective, and I just want to bring up one article, which I'm sure I'm like the only person who cares about this. But listen, jailbreaking an iPhone was one of my favorite pastimes. The moment I think it was my iPhone 4 because I don't.
Yeah, it was great back on the iPhone 6 when you could still do
it. Yeah. So it was something I really enjoyed doing. I took a lot of joy at it, customized it. Remember when the Harlem Shake was popular and I made my phone do the Harlem Shake?
Yeah, it was great, dude. And you taught me how to do it. And you only bricked one phone.
Hey,
that I had
that
I had to super repair.
Your fault. Okay, I've enjoyed jailbreaking.
A day of my life.
And over the last couple of years, just Apple's been closing the loopholes on it real quick, and developers for jailbreaking just have been few and far between. It's become incredibly hard to do this. And when we all knew that jailbreaking was dead, the final nail in the coffin happened last week and that is Cydia, which is the basically jailbreak app store.
App store
is now shutting down its purchasing mechanisms entirely. So you will no longer be able to pay for a tweak or for a theme or for an app. Basically taking away all incentives for any developers to work on this kind of platform at all, meaning that it's officially dead.
Can we just, I mean, if we're going to talk about this, I mean, you, Your Honor, he opened the door. So, I mean, what this did really was turn your iPhone into an open source platform. And with that came all kinds of issues. And not just security, but like it became buggy like every Android phone you've ever used.
Yeah,
right.
100%. Especially if you didn't know what you were doing.
Too many apps and tweaks. Too many, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Things.
Yeah.
Right. So like, unless you're straight Google, you know, as soon as you start applying skins and other sort of tweaks and things like that, you end up widgets. Anything that's live, anything that's using resources that doesn't want to share.
Yeah.
You end up with bugs.
Mm-hmm.
And this, like, that's ultimately the reason I bailed on it. Is just like the respringing and full of bugs, and it wasn't worth it. Not when iOS natively got so good so fast.
And that was the other part to the jailbreaking aspect of this. A lot of things that came from jailbreaking then became mainstream features of the iPhone. Notification center, the ability to go actually apps themselves, the
widgets,
Tap Revenge. Everyone remember Tap Revenge was like DDR for the iPhone. That was a jailbroken app first before the App Store even existed. And then it became something. But they've also had so many other features and redesigns and shortcuts that have been stolen and then made part of the main stage of iOS.
So you're saying stolen and then made part of the, and that's not 100% how. Like a lot of these early developers got gainful employment with big software companies that wanted them to create this stuff for iOS that got officially licensed. Like this isn't just, you know, a bunch of hackers in a back room somewhere. Like
some of them, I mean,
a lot. Sure,
Ryan
but what I'm saying
was like the biggest jailbreak developer, right? And he had a lot of things that were main state jail. Like as soon as you jailbreak, you install about 6 of his tweaks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like the next year, Apple's like, oh hey, now this feature is just part of iOS. We're just like, we had that as a jailbreaking feature. All right, fine, whatever. The next year, another thing. Like it would just be one of those. Oh, we've been doing that on just like how Android people have been like, we did that for years.
What I'm saying, CJ, is that the only way Apple gets that level of development is by hiring these people that are capable of doing it.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So it becomes, yes, we need that. You know what? Let's buy it. Let's hire the people and buy it. And now it's ours.
Yeah. So Cydia was launched 10 years ago, shortly after the first iPhone was broken. Like I said, a lot of people are using it to do some really cool things, some nefarious things. I miss jailbreaking. If I could do it again.
They're making their phones Harlem Shake.
I totally would. Listen, it definitely came with its challenges, but when you were a pro at it, it was a big upside to just being an Apple user and kind of being able to do this. It's a lot of fun.
You ceased being an Apple user when you did that.
No, you don't.
You do. You do.
No.
You do. You did.
No.
You do.
No. We can't agree on anything today, can we?
Nope.
You're just oil and I'm water.
I'm going to need you to take about 20% off there, CJ.
I'm not doing it. It's not happening. All right. So now it's time to look at the world of TV and movies in a segment that we call Screen to Stream. And I want to start with some streaming stuff right off the bat. Today, as we're recording Friday the 28th, Netflix has released Black Mirror Bandersnatch, which just let the title happen. Okay?
Wait. Is he not tied up filming like a new Sherlock or something?
Is it sad that it took me like a good 5 seconds to ask what the hell you were?
They have a whole series about, is he that interesting in real life?
It's not Benedict Cumberbatch. That's not.
Yes, it says Bandersnatch right here.
I'm not making a Benedict Cumberbatch joke. Helps if I can speak.
Yeah, it's Pumpernickel Bandersnatch.
No, that's not how this works.
That's Black Mirror Bandersnatch can only be about one man. He's a living man named Pumpernickel Bandersnatch.
The reason why this episode is so important, or just in the topic list, is it is Netflix's first live action interactive essentially movie with Black Mirror. So this is the choose your own adventure episode of Black Mirror. To give you an idea of what they did for this episode, approximately 5 hours of footage was shot, with an average version taking about 90 minutes. So you can do this in 90 minutes. You can do it as short as 40. It gives you some easy choices, so you can choose like what cereal should the main character have for breakfast. There are 5 endings, some multiple variations, but 5 main endings to it. And it allows you to kind of go ahead and explore how you want to watch the episode. You can do it on game consoles, TV, Android, iPhone. As long as you've got a controller of some sort or some way to give it an input, you're able to go ahead and to kind of have an interactive experience with Black Mirror. I know a lot of people are not into Black Mirror, and I'll give you a hint. Just don't watch the first episode first. And then if you really want to get into it, then you can watch the first episode, like maybe last. But I'm excited to watch this. Today is Friday as we're recording this. I have not watched this yet, but I'm very excited to try this out. You're not a Black Mirror guy, are you, Josh?
No, I have not partaken in the Black Mirror. But if I sit down and I'm going to watch this.
Sure.
And there's going to be a point where it's like, okay, make a decision. So I text Gefilte Fitch Copperpot.
No.
And he then
he
riddles me these questions 3.
No, that's not how that works, Diddle.
And then I answer the questions 3 and either get launched off the bridge or move on to the next part of the story.
No, you don't text Benedict Slappy back any of those things. You just come up and it says, all right, just the thing. Left, right, press a button, go. It's not that hard. Remember?
Up, down, A, B, select, start.
Yeah, do the Konami code, see what happens.
All right.
But listen,
I know I missed the left and the rights.
That's all right. No one's fact checking.
What's can you tell me what the significance of Bandersnatch is? Because I'm having trouble.
Sure, Bandersnatch is a MMO that one of the characters creates. It's called Bandersnatch because he's creating this like online fantasy world. It starts from a simple program, goes all the way up to like the Matrix Oasis like level of it. So it's just the name of the world is the name of the program, name of the game.
I mean, if I'm bored enough, I might give it a peep. Yep.
If you're bored enough, you may get that. I mean, for you, that's as close to an endorsement as I could possibly get today.
Oh, you're not helping your case. Like,
it's Black Mirror, dude. If you're into Black Mirror, you don't need a star. You're in for Black Mirror. If you're not into Black Mirror, then you're not into Black Mirror, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not begrudging anybody for not being into Black Mirror. It is not for everybody. Now, Josh, continuing on the Netflix train here.
Yeah.
Train? Plane? Automobile? I don't know.
Automobiles?
All right.
Yep.
Continue on the Netflix automobile. That's a thing. You put in this article that Netflix has hundreds of secret categories that are hidden from view.
Yep.
And here is the full list. So I'm curious, how to use this? Why should I use this? Can I use this on Apple TV? And
I mean,
what's up?
Nah, you shouldn't really, unless so if you're like me and you're a little crazy sometimes, and you're like, you know what I really could go for is like a deep sea horror movie.
Sure. We've all had those.
I said nobody ever, right? I understand that, right?
Right.
But like, you know what I could go for is like, what I really want is just martial arts, boxing, and wrestling. No other sports. Just martial arts, boxing, and wrestling.
Sure.
I want a supernatural thriller. I want action and adventure directed by Richard Lester, and that's all I want. And I want it right now. Each of these categories has an individual like genre code.
Yes.
Which is a little crazy.
A critically acclaimed feel-good comedies from the 1980s is code 607.
See, now that's a good
that's a good category.
But like super specific.
Yes.
That's great. British dramas based on a book from the 1980s.
critically acclaimed violent movies on Blu-ray. We're just reading the phone book right now, aren't we?
But here's the thing. Sometimes you're like, you know what I really need? I need a campy horror movie right now. I gotta have it. It's date night. I want a quirky gay and lesbian drama.
Yeah.
That's what I want right now.
Sure. At first I was mocking you on this. This is really
Dude,
dumb.
It would be dumb if it wasn't so crazy specific.
It's super specific, which also makes me really worried about what data Netflix has on me.
Understated French language movies from the 1980s.
Why?
I want to know who has defined understated.
There's some guy at the Netflix. The people do not understand this film. That was my French accent. It wasn't very good.
Visually striking, imaginative children and family movies.
This is insane.
Right?
Okay, so my understanding, reading this article, Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, this is not available on streaming sticks, devices, and things. It's a computer. You got to use a computer. You got to use a browser.
I see. There's no way. Yeah, because there's just the sorting file alone would be so massive.
Yeah. Oh my god, this is insane.
But browser plugins.
But I'm really about it. Like when you get the little codes, we talked about like 678 and 6652.
Well, this gives you the codes, guys. Look in the show notes. This gives you the codes for the genre, and all you have to do is type in this link
and then move
for the code for that whole genre, right? And then you get steamy romantic comedies. 35800. Yeah,
I was totally ready to shit on this, going, this is dumb, no one will ever use this. But now I'm looking at the list, and I'm like, this is pretty...
The crazy thing is, if you're a movie buff, really, I mean, and we've discussed on this show a number of times how I will start something and be like, nope, I was wrong.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch this. I want to... You know what I want to do? I want to watch Matt Damon. I'm just not sure how I want to watch Matt Damon.
Right. This gives you...
And I will start 3 different Matt Damon movies until I'm like, Rounders. That's what I wanted this whole time. Wow. This is, I think for movie people, it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
So I put the article in just because I've actually seen this. Like I've used this before. This came up a couple years ago when all those plugins became very popular, and like going saying, "Oh, I'm not from the United States. I'm from the UK, and I want the UK Netflix, and all I need is a plugin to do that." That's kind of cool. This is just as cool.
This is really interesting. All right, I'm going to deep dive into this. This is going to be my weekend now.
Also, if you have one of those spoofers, I'm told these codes are universal.
Oh, that's nice.
So look, there
so
is
you can watch comedies starring Jamie Foxx, but you get the UK list.
Well, there's stuff there that we don't have.
I get it.
That's all I'm saying. That stuff, Australia, Canada, it's all. Why is it so different? Netflix, that's not right.
Can you name more countries since we already named a whole bunch of lists? Final topic here for screen to stream, and this was also you, Josh. There is a link here to the B-roll of Nicolas Cage recording lines for Into the Spider-Verse. The article says that he should win an Oscar just for the B-roll. I say a SAG award. I want to go Oscar-wise. I go SAG. It's pretty funny.
I just like, I like any time you get B-roll. I think that's good stuff.
And I saw Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, as did Brian. But Brian, you're not here, so I get to talk about it.
I also don't think Nick Cage is showing up. Like, I don't think he's standing in front of the mic wearing like a smoking jacket like he is here.
Yeah. No, this is clearly, they just put a camera. They're like, hey, everybody, we're going to come in one day and just record some, like, shit.
Yeah, Nick Cage comes in like a t-shirt, like a Van Halen t-shirt. You know what I mean?
No, he comes in with a... He comes in with
an OI81 OIOOU812.
No, he comes in with a t-shirt with his own face on it, like Con Air. It's got and it says, put the bunny down. Yeah, everybody, put the bunny down. Anyway, it's great. It's just a little hilarious. Just real quick, a non-official review. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was spectacular, amazing, stupendous, just fantastic. All other adjectives that are all positive. Really good. Really, really good. And I want more. And they left it open for a sequel, and I want really more. And I will let Brian, I will save the talk about Stanley's cameo for when Brian comes back, because it's something special.
Okay.
Which you may have already talked about in the last episode, now that I think about it. And Josh, if my understanding is also correct, I got a picture from you. You saw Aquaman.
Sure did. Me, Lauren, the kids. Aquaman's in the theaters.
Haven't seen it yet. How was it? I'm just curious. I need to hear your opinion on this because I've been getting really mixed feelings from a lot of people.
What I saw was not good.
Did you fall asleep?
I fell asleep off and on for the entire movie.
Is this like a DC thing with you? Do you fall asleep during any other movies?
I did not. I only fell asleep at Wonder Woman.
All right, and now Aquaman.
Ant-Man too.
Ant-Man. Okay, well, yeah, you've got a thing for Ant-Man.
If the movie isn't good, look, and here's the problem. It's just like Amber Heard. She's not very good. Jason Momoa. We knew he's not a great actor, and he wasn't. Jango Fett was okay. Nicole Kidman, god awful. I mean, really, really terrible.
I heard her action scene was really good.
Willem Dafoe. Do I really need to expand upon that? Right. Also, Dolph Lundgren, and then the guy that played, the CIA guy in A-Team.
It's also in Watchmen, right?
Yes, yeah, he was. Thank you. Yes, that's a much better. Reference. Actually. Yeah. So every scene I saw was not good. The kids loved it.
Okay, all right.
So that should be another indication that it's probably not very good.
Your kids have poor taste. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, they're kids.
I'm just messing with you.
They don't fucking know from good.
Sure.
They're children, right? They like Teen Titans Go, and they like Steven Universe, and they like the fucking.
Don't you talk bad about Steven Universe?
Stop! It's awful.
Just they like
the Thundermans. They like the Thundermans, and they like Fuller House. You know what I mean?
Fuller House. Okay, all right. I got you.
They're kids. They like to be entertained.
Sure.
So I'm sure it was entertaining. It wasn't very good at all. Laura gave me shit, and I'm like, A-list. My ticket was free.
So. Well, at least you got that going for it.
Right.
Now, I do want to take a quick moment, and I know I said I didn't have anything, but I found something, so let this happen, listener. I want to quickly talk about the world of comics, how it's affecting TV, how it's affecting movies, but mostly how it's affecting DC Universe and how it's affecting Josh and Brian Rowan. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Cape Talk. Brian, help me out.
Cape Talk.
Okay, so Brian Roman, Patreon supporter, executive producer Brian Roman, sent us a long message about some frustrations that he has with DC Universe, and I'm gonna start with this. Okay, so this shit is bugging me, and I'm curious how you guys feel about this. DC Universe's selection is changing soon, and then he proceeds to list everything leaving the DC Universe and everything coming to the DC Universe on January 1st, and the adjustment happened for the new year. And the list is long. Because now, it's cool that stuff is being added, but I feel like if I'm paying a premium price for this, they shouldn't be removing stuff from a service when it's already on the light side. So where do you guys come down on taking stuff out? And he's having little buyer's remorse for having bought a whole year already. So, Josh, you have the DC Universe. You guys were able to kind of chit-chat a little bit back and forth about this. What are your feelings, and how can we avoid the buyer's remorse?
My initial response was par for the course for streaming services. This is, I think we handled this on Facebook.
We did, yes.
As long as the content gets refreshed constantly, I'm okay. Don't expect to have an entire library at my fingertips for $5 a month, essentially. Now, I said that. I meant that. Brian talked about...
Brian Thornton.
I said Brian.
Yeah, but Brian Roman. Different Brian.
I didn't...
Am I saying it wrong again?
But I didn't say Brian.
But Brian.
I said Brian.
Okay, fine. Sure. Yeah. Okay. One day.
So, Brian hypothesizes they don't have the server space. Okay. I could see that. I just didn't... I don't want to go down that road because I don't want to... That seems like a very small outfit that doesn't have server space to load this shit.
Yeah.
So, I get Brian Roman's point. I don't agree fully. Like, it's almost as if look, I need new content continuously, and if there's older content that needs to go, fine. I'm not, for me, like, they took away some decent stuff.
Yeah, they did.
Under the Red Hood in year one, like just those two, I'm like, those should never leave.
Right.
Those should never leave there.
Yep.
But they're putting some pretty cool shit on there. So, or have as of the time of you're listening to this. But so like, I get it. I understand it. I understand what Brian said. I understand what Brian said. Maybe it's a combination of shit needs to get refreshed and maybe they don't have the server space. We don't know. But look, I'm paying $5 a month, dude. Like, I've honestly, like, I've walked away from way more than $5 just because it wasn't convenient. Like, I've just gone, you know what? I'm not going to return this. I'm just going to throw it away because I don't feel like going to the store.
Right.
And it was $20 and I don't give a shit. So I'm just going to throw. I can't tell you that, like, the pile of phone cases that I never use or used or that I just ordered and looked at them like, oh, they're pretty trash because I don't want to have to drive to someplace to return something. Nope.
Sure.
So it's $5. I don't care.
So you're on the sense of it can't be that. I mean, buyer's remorse isn't that strong because the cost of this was so low. But what is just about the fact that it's already on the light side, the sense if it's exclusive to DC.
The other thing is that this content, you're not binge watching. Like, you're not watching Under the Red Hood today and then watching it again next month and then watching it again the month after that.
The movies, no, but there's TV shows on here in different seasons.
And you're not binge watching those either. Like, if you were in the middle of watching it and it's fucking leaving, I wouldn't be happy about I would not be happy about that.
That's happening to a group of people.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be okay with that. That's an aspect of it I hadn't thought about. But like other than that immediate inconvenience, I'd be okay.
This is very similar to me, just looking at the list, right, of things that leave Netflix, right, and then maybe go to Hulu, and then maybe go to Amazon Prime. Like, it kind of makes the streaming rounds, like, it whores itself about for those services. I'm not saying that these are going to go to another service because DC's probably got a tight lock on this, but I mean, like, I understand why it happens. The algorithm saying people aren't watching this anymore, or basically it'll also be a way to entice people to subscribe because watch something now because we may take it away. This is how Disney does it with the Vault, right? The Vault. They put things.
Dude, when you look at these titles, a lot of these titles were the ones that we all said we were watching early.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense to rotate. Like, in that case, we're probably moving on to new content. And, and when you talk about that, you bring Brian's theory back in that they just want the server space. That's it.
Yeah. So, I mean, Brian, I don't think we really land either way. It just kind of the price of admission and just this is what streaming services do now. This is the new normal. This is just sorry, this will happen. I also think it's
be more cliche. Can you be more cliche?
What? This is what happens.
This is the new normal.
What else do you want me? This is our reality. This is the world. This is the way the world is now.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
And that's the way. I like it. Listen, it just is. But Josh also brings this up. I know you bought the year already, but it's so inexpensive, even for a whole year, as compared to how much it costs for
15 months. 15 months for $75. Like,
I mean, that's less than Amazon Prime for a whole year. I mean, it's pretty inexpensive.
It's a great investment. It's the most affordable streaming service with the biggest library for its cost. Like, I mean, what else is around $5? CBS All Access?
Yeah. Which is dog shit.
Yeah. Which is dog shit.
Yep.
This makes sense to me. It just does. Like, the buyer's remorse thing, no. And there are very few things. It's funny, in the years that Brian's been interacting with us and we've hung out, there are very few things that he and I don't see eye to eye on, and this we're two separate. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with this.
All of this to say, very simply, DC. I need a DCUniverse.com/that kind of nerd. Come on. We're telling you. Listen, even though stuff is leaving, service is still good, still value, still there. I'm just saying we should make it happen. Help us out, nerds. Make it happen. And you know how you can do that? Very easily. Just go on and share this episode with a friend, a family, a loved one, total stranger. Just text it to somebody randomly. I don't care. Just share it because sharing is the ultimate internet currency. And we thank you for your donation. We will be back next week. Brian will be joining us. It should be the full house yet again. I want to thank you, listener, though, for making us your walk around your neighborhood or your drive to work. We will see you next week.
We hope your holidays were awesome. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Well, welcome to the club because you are that kind of nerd.
I don't know, listener, if you've noticed, but Josh seems to have a tendency to let the show that he's currently binging kind of overtake his perception of what's going on in the world around him and relate it back.
When you watch 57 episodes of something in like a few days,
Like,
you know what I mean? Like a week and a half or whatever.
Was it last week? Wasn't it something else? You were just, it reminds me of that thing from that show I'm really watching.
Because that's what happens. I mean, it just, look, I don't sleep a ton. There's that, right? It's like it's Christmas vacation.
Right.
My children just want to play. They do want to do hood rat stuff with their friends. You know what I mean?
Right.
They can FaceTime now and they can text and they can play Fortnite and all this. And I'm over here going, I guess I'll just continue watching Boardwalk Empire for the rest of my life. You know, and now I'm done with that and I'm starting something else because that's what you do when you have a list, Brian.
You watch it.
You watch it.
Absolutely. I'm real curious next week when you're watching some other completely show. Don't tell me what you're watching. I want to see if I can guess it from just like the references you make throughout the week.
I've dropped several Letterkenny references in this episode thus far.
Yes.
And I don't feel like you've watched it.
I have
at
not.
all.
No.
Right. So because these references,
but I'm in the middle of The Shield because you told me to watch The Shield, so I'm watching.
Oh, The Shield's so good.
But I'm not making references to The Shield. Also, The Shield is so old that if I start making references to it, people are like, "You just getting around to watching The Shield?"
Okay. Good stuff. Get to the van.
I'm making this up, so whatever. We'll just go.